Welcome to Anita's Joint, hashtag extendAJoint, where every day is payday, baby. It's your girl, Anita, flying high. And good day, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you come through. I just kind of got up. I was going to watch Chelsea versus United, but I decided not to. But while I was looking on the schedule, I happened to click on the news tab, and I came across the article on goal.com, and Miss Emma Hayes, Chelsea manager Emma Hayes, and the headline was Chelsea women's boss Hayes fears social media abuse of players could lead to suicide. And I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about suicide, and why I wanted to talk about suicide, right? Because it's important to talk about and to be aware of. For those that have experienced, I guess, bullying, it's bullying, a form of bullying on social media. It is we live in a certain time, and we've been lived in this time, but especially more now. People have access to laptops and phones, computers, and they really have no other better things to do but to put hatred out to people, to people, and especially when we see it in the athletic realm. To people when things they don't go their way. We see when matches don't go their way, and targeting certain players based upon the way they look, based upon how they appear, and these people it is a system in the matrix that has been created by us not taking a stand, by us not speaking more about it, and then also it does lead to people that, unfortunately, they get triggered so much by the constant bombardment of these threats and these projections, low frequency, the demon type energy, these projections, and sometimes they're not as powerful spirits as they thought they were, when it comes to receiving all this information, this backlash. And I want to thank, because it is Libra season now, and Emma Hayes is a Libra, and so if you know, the Libra is the balance scales. It also is justice, and so I like that Emma Hayes, is bringing it up. And also I talked about it in last. Leanne Sanderson had talked about, and we know a lot of the athletes, especially athletes that look like me, get criticized more often. And remember, people that don't look like me get bullied and get threats and get harassed on the internet. All types of people, they go through this, but especially people that look like me, that are in the public arena in sports, because we're talking about sports, are threatened based upon not performing and performing, and it's on a constant, because this is the culture that's here. And Emma Hayes had said, apparently in an interview with CNN, she says that, like I said, Chelsea boss Emma Hayes said she fears online abuse of players could lead to suicides within the game, adding she would 100% remove her squad from social media if she could. And social media is a tool for us to be able to connect. Social media is a tool for us to be able to express ourselves, and is a tool that is here to help evolve us as humanity, but also to show people all our lives. Not like social media gets manipulated. Social media remember, it's the two sides of the one coin. Social media is good and social media is bad. And we know that social media is mainly, there's a lot more bad on social media than good, because of the culture that we have been brought up in this environment of attacking the vulnerabilities of people. People can't help the way they look like. People can't help the way they talk. People can't, it was a bad match. It happens. You have bad days. And people can't help that. Sometimes they didn't perform. And when we hear, especially we heard it with Laura James, and we hear it all the time, especially with England and in America. These places are heavily bully culture when it comes to not getting your way, especially in the sports realm. And so also she says she said she was on CNN, like I said. She said 100% Hayes told when asked if she would ban her squad online if the online presence, if she was able to. So if I could, but we have to live with it, right? She said, and if we're going to live with it, then those that profit from it should take responsibility, and if not, our nation's government should force them to eradicate a culture of hate. There's no denying there's a vulnerable athletes within mental health. She said there is no denying that there are vulnerable athletes within mental health issues across the board. That of the back of a bad game, or of back of being a woman, or being gay, or being a different color or ethnicity, experience violence, abuse, messages, and could certainly put them in a position where they could contemplate suicide. And then she says Hayes calls for fast action. A widespread social media blackout across the British Games last year proved a little deterrent to wave the abuse of boiled up in the wake of England's Euros final heartbreak. Remember we talked about that with the boys. The boys missed the penalties, and all of a sudden people, this has been going on for a while. It's not the first time this happened, but we have to remind ourselves, like, this has to stop. When is it going to stop? Like, when are people going to stop doing that? It won't. It's the thing. And until these people that have own Twitch, people that own Instagram, people that own Facebook, take responsibility for the blood that they pretty much allow on their platforms. You hold these people responsible, and then also hold how you're being raised, your parents responsible, and then also hold the person responsible, because what you give out, you're going to receive back 10 times fold. If you give hate, you're going to receive that back, and you do it to yourself 10 times fold. So these people that do this, I mean, they really have nothing better else to do, and they're quote unquote just bullies, haters. I want to call you a loser, because you have nothing better to do than degrade people and put people down, than lift each other up, than lift someone up. It happens. We have bad days, and you would want someone in your corner to lift you up, and instead you choose to use your voice to put someone down. And so that's fucked up, and you don't really deserve any sympathy for what you have coming to you if you do that with the time that you've been given on the fucking planet at the current time that you decide to type and do some stupid shit. And remember, some of these people are not even real life people. They're created in the Matrix. They're systematically been created to target certain individuals. It's the system, the Matrix. This is what we've created: the beast, an animal that must be tamed, right? And so it says the bigger picture. And so also I wanted to talk about suicide. Listen, suicide. I've never had suicidal thoughts, and I've always known that suicide is not the way to go, but not everybody is a powerful spirit or has strong mental strength like me. So those that, for those that do contemplate suicide, let me remind you that it ain't the way to go. Because if you think it's bad now, you having these suicidal thoughts, and you do actually end up offing yourself, before you do that, think about what you're going to be coming into in your next life. It's going to be worse, because you didn't have the mental strength to do it then, like now in the present moment and transcend that energy that you're being projected in, you're going to be put in another situation that's going to be worse, and you're going to be tested to know, are you going to do the same thing that you did last time, until you get the lesson that suicide is not the answer. It's never the answer. In the eyes of the God, it's weakness, and you have to transcend those energies that you're receiving, because you're greater than that bullshit. You're greater than what people say about you. You're greater than, how people see you. You're greater than those that are not you're greater than those that are not use opinion. How you view yourself, that is the greatest opinion you should be really worried about. How you see yourself. Remember, and we're just you have to see yourself as not a bully, not a victim of circumstance, not a victim of this social media abuse. And tell these people, or don't tell them, people, like, you can laugh at me, you can troll me, you can call me all these names, a nigger, all these other things that they get called, all the names that y'all that these trolls can stoop so low, because it's mainly the same thing. They really can only like call you, if you're a certain color. They can only really call you so many things. Talk about your mom, talk about your dad, talk about, some of them get really nasty, right? Talk about, you're gonna die and such and such and such. Yeah, it just depending on how crazy these other people are on the internet. But all you can do is like, listen, I don't get mad at me because I decided to do something with my life, and you decided to do this with your life. But remember, suicide is never the answer. So also, if you do have these thoughts, reach out to people that you love, talk about it, because we don't want you to be in that frequency vibration. It's not a good vibration for yourself, first of all, and then second, it's not a good vibration for the collective. I don't ever want anyone to have suicidal thoughts, or to have suicidal energies projected on them, because it just doesn't help. I want you to be able to live your best life. I want you to be able to be free. I want you to be able to express yourself in the way that you want to. I want you to be able to live the life you deserve. And I'm sorry that there are people in the world that don't respect boundaries. And so the more conscious approach we take into eradicating this type of frequency and vibration, and remind people, you'll get what's coming to you. You'll get what's coming to you if you continue to do these things. Some people will continue to participate in being bullies on the internet, and some people will actually, wake up and get that clue, like, we're not playing. Social media is here to help us gain and learn from each other, not to degrade and hurt each other. So we have to use it we have to use the tool wisely. I just remind you, like I said, suicide is never the answer. Get help, call for help, get help if you ever do feel this way, and make sure you transcend these energies so you come out a stronger person, and you have actually a story to tell now on how you were able to, beat all the hatred out from the noises of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's really all I had to say. I just wanted to speak on this because I know, I thought this was a very important topic to talk about, because we see it, we see it. Suicide is just not the answer, y'all. Especially with COVID-19, a lot of people experience bullying and hatred and hate speech and that shit. We have to be able to identify it, but also hold those responsible too. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all these big tech corporations, you have blood on your hands when you don't stop these things. You got blood on your hands, that's for sure. But thank you everyone for tuning into Anita's Joint, #extendAJoint, where every day is payday, baby. And I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.